What's up, y'all? Anyway, I decided to go ahead and do another video on advanced power connectors. There's a little bit more added to this one than there was in the last one. Some of this is old stock, some of this is new. But if you hang out till the end of the video, or near the end of the video, I'll show you a little trick that I use to light my house or my camp. But anyway, I guess let's get on with it. We'll get started. Okay. Let's get in here real quick. Okay, so I call these active conduit, and that's just what I call them. I don't know if that's a term for them or not, but the reason being is because they actually have powered connectors to them, so you can actually power them. Use those to transfer power from a source, from a power source, just like they've got the fitting on the end like that. Now, keep in mind, you can do the passive type. You can put ends on them, but because they're in two different categories, I call this the active and these the passive. Because if you go through here, you don't really have anything that basically connects to a generator. You know, as in these, you've got every one of these are connectors. They all connect to a power source. Anyway, that being said, that's just my opinion. My 2 cents, that's probably what's worth. Okay, anyway, so as far as these pieces of conduit, these what I call passive connectors, you've got a conduit light, conduit power radiator, which we've got one installed right here, right there. We've got a conduit switch, which we'll go through switches here in a minute, a conduit right side up light, a conduit power radiator that's up facing. We've got a couple of different sizes of conduit links. We've got a 4-way conduit power radiator junction, 3-way power radiator junction, 2-way power radiator junction, pass-through radiator junction. I would actually call this a 90 radiator junction. This would be a straight junction. We've got another 90, another different length of 90, and then a short 90. We've got this, which is basically the same as the one in the active. As you see, I've got one right here. Got one going through the roof, and as you see, I've got a short piece of conduit connected to this going through the wall of the tent. Yes, they'll go through a wall. It'll go through a wall of a building too. I've just got this tent up because it was easy. I haven't built in this vault yet, so I figured it'd be a good place to start. Okay, so let's see if what all's hooked up over here, and so yeah, that's hooked up. So we've got the power radiator hooked up. The power radiators are what we actually used before the box generator came out. You can see I can turn my light on right there. I don't know if I've got the tent powered or not. Hang on, let me make sure the tent's not powered, so we can actually test and see. Okay, the tent is powered. So now the tent's not powered. No, that just goes to the alarm. Okay, bunch of wires over here. So anyway, now that power radiator's on, we're just using the power from this radiator and from the generator on the side of the tent. Okay, oops. So now we're gonna, since this lamp's on, we're gonna move it. Okay. See, it won't come on now. These things have to be, everything has to be in close proximity to actually make this work, to make anything run off of it. So you'd have to put a ton of these things in your camp in order to power everything, or You can also say like right here, if you wanted to power that lamp, we could come in here and we could go to get one of these connectors. Say, now we should be able to power the lamp. Yeah, see, now we can power the lamp. So you'd have to put these connectors all over your house in your camp in order to get your lights to come on. So every few certain links, you'd have to drop another one. So anyway, that's what we had to do before the box generator came out. But now that we have the box generator, we don't have to worry about that because it'll cover almost your whole camp. So we're going to scrap that. Okay. So we'll come to the doors last because that's pretty confusing also. Okay, let's go ahead and do the laser tripwire. These things are thoroughly confusing. So, we'll go ahead and get that hooked up. Okay, sometimes the laser comes on, sometimes it doesn't. So, right now, I've got this hooked to the siren, and I've got it hooked to the light. And I think it comes on, it's actually active. So let's see. Yes. So, you can see the light came on when I tripped the wire. Now these things, it doesn't say, but you can actually turn this thing and click it on. So right now, it should be inactive, so the laser won't work, but the power is on. So we've got power turned on to this light. So if we come back here, now we've got power turned off to the light, but the tripwire is not set. So we have to click it one more time, and now the tripwire should be set. Yes. So it actually has 4 modes of function. So if you just want to reset the thing, then you would go 1, 2, 3. And then it should be reset. Reset. Came back on. So, anyway, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now we're reset again. That's pretty much the way that thing works. I don't know why the horn's not going off, but anyway, it's, let's see if it does. Yeah, it should be going off because the light's on top, so. So anyway, so that's the tripwire. That's how the tripwire works. And you can hook that to lights or the horn or whatever you really want to hook it to. So now let's go through with some switches. This is the random switch here. So what you want to do on the random switch is you take this center. Oops, I guess I better be in builder mode, huh? Okay. So you want to take your power source and you want to bring it to the center of this, because that's where your switching power is. Okay. Then we want to go from here to there. Okay. So now they're both turned on for some reason. Anyway, let it switch. Okay. Okay, so this one's not hooked to random for some reason. Hang on, let me get rid of that and put in a new one. Something got messed up on that. Anyway, so we'll try this again. Okay, so we want to hook this to this side. We want to hook this to this side. Then we want to unhook this. That was one of our problems right there. I figured it out. Yeah, my bad. Sorry, guys. Okay, so then we want to hook our power up to the center one. Okay, so this is a random. It's just going to be randomly So both of them are off, right? That back one was on first. Now the front one's on. Now the back one's on. Now the back one's on again. Now the front one's on. Now the back one's on. Now the front one's on. So it's just a random switch. It just randomly picks whichever one it wants to turn on. I really have never found a use for this. I'm sure there is. I'm sure somebody's found some really good uses for this. I mean, I know back in the trap base days, I need to learn to speak. It might have had a pretty good use for it then. You know, to fall to your death or not to fall to your death or something, you know. Okay, anyway, moving on. So this switch right here is just your regular everyday switch. I mean, see them all over the place. It basically, same as that one back there. You just turn it on or turn it off. Your machine's off. Turn it on. Your machine's on. Same deal. We actually used those quite a bit back there. I did. I don't know if everybody did. I used them back in the day before you could turn on your camp or turn off your camp on the map just for it to broadcast. Your machines would be the ones that would broadcast back then. So what they would do is basically, if you had a machine that was turned on in your camp, then it would broadcast automatically. So when you started to cap out, say you had, 38,000 caps or whatever, and you didn't want to have to store your machines, you just put in a switch and turn off a switch, and unless somebody walked across your camp, they'd never know that your camp was there. Anyway, so much about that. Okay, so this switch is basically, let me see. Let's get rid of this thing real quick, because it'll show us some more about it. Okay. So when we first set this thing down, it gives us a code. Now you won't have to use this code because you're the owner of the camp. But if someone else if you want someone else to be able to get, say you play with a bunch of buddies and you don't team up or something all the time, you can give them the code. Or you could hide. Back in the day, a lot of people would hide the code, lock you in a room and hide the code somewhere, so you'd have to find the code. Just, playing games, whatever. But anyway, that's how that works. It works just exactly like this switch. Don't really need to go through, but you just flip this little lever right here, and the light will light on or off. Okay. And so that's that. This switch works exactly the same as that, but it just doesn't have a code. Okay, anything else back here we need to go through? This right here is the vault. It's the vault power bank, and it's kind of cool on the back of these this camp counselor tent if you put it in the vault. So pretty neat. And these are just your regular standard fittings. Anyway, I guess we're gonna move on. I'm gonna look and see if there's anything else we need to know. I don't think so. Okay, so now we're moving on to the doors. Okay, these powered doors. You can get these in the plan powered gates. The way you can set these up with a switch on either side, but the only problem I'll run into when I do that, and it may just be the way that I hook them up, maybe I'm hooking them up incorrectly or whatever, probably am, but if you put it on a switch, you have to run two of these things to put it on a switch, and it's kind of a pain. But anyway, this is the way I do them. On my camp, on my main character, I run these door switches. The reason I run the door switches on my main character is because I have a camp in the mire, and it sits on top of a place where tons of rad toads come out. And so when people come to my camp, a lot of times, if they buy something or whatever, I leave my vendors outside, but a lot of times people just come through my camp and they'll leave the door open, and I'll come home and half the inside of my camp is destroyed because somebody left the door open and rad toads got inside my camp. So with that being said, I put these up. So if you walk through, it closes. So anyway, I'll walk you through how we wire these up. Okay, I'll try to make this as brief as possible. Okay, so we know that right now I have power going to here. That powers this side. So we want to power. Oh, another trick I forgot to say. Okay, when it comes to these conduits, for some reason, anything, it doesn't matter if it's this or if it's a one of these or whatever it may be, they do not like to connect to this point. So a lot of the times what you'll have to do is come over here and click on this, and then it'll hook up. But see, like again, if you see I try to hook this up, it doesn't want to. I mean, it just does not like it. See, put it right on it, and it still just does not like it. So that's why you just come over here. Okay, then so we've got power to the switch, but we don't have power from the switch to the door. So if we do this, now that switch should be operational. That switch is operational. Now this fitting is on the door itself. This fitting I actually had to put on here. So anyway, so now we have to have power from the to the pressure plate. So and to the door. So now we can actually use the door switch. So anyway, let me move that. Never mind. So I guess that's about all I can tell you about connectors and about lighting and, you know, basically the advanced power connectors. So okay, and for this part of the video, I'm going to go ahead and show you all how to hook up working light switches in your camp. And yes, it is possible, and you can do it with a single generator. So the way I'll show you how it works first, and it is bright in here, but on, if you can see they're all on. And if I turn them off, now they're all off. On. And then I've got this on two sides of my house. And you can do it with a single generator in multiple spots. So I know it's bright in here, but anyway, if you look up here, these lights are off. Those I left on, if you noticed. See how these are off? Turn these on. Now these are on. If you go back in here, turn these off, these stayed off. And these stayed on. So anyway, I'll get to showing you how this actually works. I've got this set up on just a single 3-power generator, which is right here. This will not work with a box generator because the box generator will power all your lights. So this will only work with an old school generator, just a regular standard, whatever kind of generator that you had before the box generators came in. But anyway, I'll show you how we wired the back first. Okay, this generator basically goes up to this, and then you can't use, you you have to use ground connectors. You can't use, come on, okay. You won't be able to use these, because if you use these to go to the other side of your house, you're going to power this part of your house. So you're going to have to use, I know it looks kind of clumsy because I was just in a hurry when I did it, but you'll have to use something besides these to keep the power from coming on your house here. So what I did was I came over here with these, just the basically whatever they are, can't remember what these are called, power pylons. And then the power pylon basically goes up and powers one side of the switch, and then the other side of the switch goes up to the top of the building. And then it's kind of going to be trial and error to get it to work without having one switch do more than you actually wanted it to. But as you see, and like I said, these are kind of scattered out. It goes to this one, and this powers this side of the house. And then these two are not connected. These two are connected, and they go down to one side of the switch, and then the other side of the switch goes to the generator. Same way on both sides. But what you'll have to do is you'll have to space these out. If you get one like, let's see, say if I put one like, just to give you an idea, say if I put one like right here, from here, then more than likely it's going to turn on the other side of my house. So let's see if it's got any more lights on that's not supposed to be on. Okay, this switch is off. And so yes, see how that light's on now? So you have to just space them out properly wherever you want them spaced out, because if you get them too close to the other lights, that light switch will turn the lights off in your other part of your house. Same way with top and bottom, or to first and second floor. Anyway, the next thing I wanted to show, and I'm going to try to be as quick as I can with this, are the Atom Shop box generators. As you can see, I've got lights out to here. So basically what that's saying is that 360 degrees around this area where that light is what the coverage of the fusion generator would actually cover. And I found out not too long ago, it actually is shaped as a dome. So it actually goes up at an arc. So if the height that it will cover here is not as high as the height that it will cover, say, here in the center. So I don't know how to measure that, so I'm not even going to get into that. But what I am going to show you is basically the way these things work. Okay, so right now this is the fusion generator version of the Atom Shop box generator. So what we're going to do is we're going to pick that thing up. So store that, and as you notice, this light went out. If I put that back down, you'll see this light came back on. So basically, and I'll show this, but basically this is how far your fusion generator will go. I think this is the 10. Yeah, 10, 5, and 3. Okay, and this is your 10, how far it'll go. This is your 5, how far it'll go. And this is your 3, how far it'll go. So if we pick up this 10 again, you'll see the rear light is off. If we pick up, or that 100, that was the fusion generator. I'm sorry, my bad. So let's pick up the 10. As you can see, this light went out. And I've got a previous video that I go into a little more detail about this, but you'll kind of get the gist. Anyway, so let's pick up the 5. And, okay, let's put the 3 over here. So it's not 100% accurate, but let's put this up just a hair. There we go. So anyway, so there's where your 3 will go. So it was a little off, but anyway. So anyway, that's kind of the way box generators work. So, and like I said, you won't be able to use your light switches with these generators. And I do not know if they're still in the Atom shop when you're watching this video or not. I'm under the impression that they're going to be left in there, but I do not know. So let's pick this one up. And with that being said, guys, I think we're going to end it off right here. I really appreciate y'all stopping by. Part of this video was actually a remake of an old video that I did. Part of it's new stuff. But if you did enjoy the video, maybe consider hitting that like button for me. Helps out the channel a great deal. Helps out the video a great deal. Helps out the algorithm. If you're enjoying this kind of content and you want to stop back and see some more, you're just new around here, want to help support the channel, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Greatly appreciate that too. Also helps out the algorithm, helps out the video, and helps out the channel. But anyway, y'all take care of yourselves. Have a good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it may be, wherever you are. And we'll catch y'all on the flip-flop. Later.